Last week, 2 women spoke to us about their alleged experiences of sexual and physical abuse at the traditional healing schools they attended. This week, we speak to more former trainees and ask, does the private and secretive nature of traditional healing help abuse to thrive? These initiates have completed rigorous training, equipping them for their spiritual calling. They are a new generation of healers. We were allowed to attend this Amatwasa graduation ceremony, where the gravity of the moment is palpable. Not all initiate training ends happily like this. For some, it is a nightmarish journey that can endanger one's physical and mental health. Mbalihele learned of her calling to be a sangoma after developing several illnesses at school.
Sayenza umsebenzi sibika abantu abadala ukuthi sicela ukuthi bayehlisa ulaka babo ngizoyenza umsebenzi wabo mangiceda isikole.
But she was too ill to finish her matric year.
Being blind for about, I think, 7 months. Yes, being phethwe ekhanda bebengazi ukuthi I went to Bloemfontein ama-hospital amakhulu abatholi next ukuthi kwenzakalani ngami. Bengiphathwa yinyawo, ngiphathwa umzimba, but then mina bengikhona ukubabona amadlozi wami kodwa abantu bengingababoni.
In December last year, her parents took her to a traditional healer who apparently said she should urgently begin her training or she might die or lose her mind.
Bogu right, I don't wanna lie, bogu right because bengisasombali. Actually, bengatreatwa kanjani njanja. Bengisasombali ya. Ngaphuwa ama rules abanye abogogo mangiceda ukugatsha ukuthi kumele ngitreate kanjani abantu, kumele ngimtreate kanjani ugobela wami. Mangitshela ukuthi I have to respect her. Yonke into yabo naye wangitshela ukuthi I must treat her like a queen. Yonke into ngimenzele, yonke into ngingamphenduli ngenze next. Kumele I should buy for her. Ngathi okay bengisasethi mawuyithwasana you don't answer to any ukuthi like ngathi yonke into oyitshelayo you must do it. Abanandaba nama feelings wakho yonke into oyitshelayo you must do it. Ukuthi na imbi noma inhle you must do it.
She says when her teacher's husband would go away, her friends would come over. Mbali alleges she had to wait on them and get them alcohol.
Ebusuku ke ubaba uyangitshela ukuthi nyanzile uzolala nalo mngani nami lo phansi. Ngiyambheka ngithi thokoza baba ngithi baba ngicela ke kuyolala ngasendumbeni ke. Athi ngikhamele into ukuthi mangikhuluma afike ke silale ke sonke baba alale embhedeni silale nalomntana lona ke. Lomngani wakhe ke ubhizi umngani wakhe ngibamba amabele ufuna ukufaka isandla sakhe ngaphambili nje ube ngenza izinto ezingenangcondo yabo ngiphakame ngiye kubaba ngigobe lapha phansi kuye phambi kwekhanda lakhe ngithokoza baba nangu umngani wakho uyangibamba angithandi lento lokuyenza athi ngicela ulale nyanzile wenza ngathi lemntana umfana nje.
She says things got worse after the following night's drinking spree.
Angikhumbuli kahle isikhathi ukuthi bekuyisikhathi bani but then bokusebusuku I think isezilanda boma 1-2 baba keep i-vest le yami I keep so i-vest le yami kulapha ke lo mngane akhe angivule amathanga baba agibele phezukwami bengifaka angazi yonke into amsho bebeyithola bebengifaka ngaphakathi kwami yonke into bebengayithola bebeyifaka bengikhala ngiscream abangitshela ukuthi khala memeza kakhulu memeza bakuthi sifuna ukubaza lamadlozi wakho ukuthi azokusiza na ngikhala lapho ene bengibleeda because benguma period bengibleeda kakhulu angenza yonke into bebeshintshisana ngami ne makusuka lona ngena lo makusuka lona ngena lo njalo until bangitshela ukuthi phakama izoyanuka wena hamba uyegeza ekama engale ngase toilet uyegeza bangibuyise futhi umngane wakhe athi mina angozwa nix boss angiphinda futhi angilalisa angivula amathanga wami bangenza yonke into abayenzayo lapho kimi until bangiceda lapho bese ngasakwazi ngikhala bengithulile kuphela bazongitshela ukuthi isikhathi sami manje bengivula amathanga bethi ngivula amathanga like bengivula amathanga wakhe ubaba wami vula amathanga wakhe angitshela ukuthi yenza so bethi like bengimkhotha.
She says she waited for sunrise before she escaped to go back home.
Bafonela ubaba omkhulu ngoba baba omkhulu uhlala around lapho engihlala khona eKaslami. Bamfonela babiza imeeting. Bokunabanye abogogo ke babizwa nabo. Basitshela le story lesi. Wabizwa naye watshela istory kwathi akhuluma istory wasikhuluma. Akazanga yaleni kusuvumile yavele ngiyenzile.
She was sent to another trainer, Gogo Lesedi.
Ebusuku uyafika mayifika gogo ngize ne cold drink naye sihleli ngasekitchen ke hayi ngithi okay ayithele lapho ke besiceda ukudla bo ngithi hayi mina ngifuna cold drink ngithi marithele ibeke lapho ngizoyiphuza aphume ke mayephuma ngithatha le cold drink ngiyithele eglasini kalo ngane yakubo ngibeke lapho ngithatha i cold drink naye hayi mthana lo ayithatha ayiphuze eyami iglass yami lapho bangane mayifika uyabheka iglass ngithola ukuthi alina next hayi okay hayi ingane leya kubi hayi mina ngiyolala mina ngiphethe ubuthongo gogo ngiyolala ngithi hayi mawuyolala nami ngiyolala ke ngihambe ngiyandlela lapho bese ngiyandlelile ngingene ezingubeni.
Thinking she was asleep, he allegedly entered her room and began touching her.
Nangu yamuzwa uyangena angimzwanga ngengena but ngizwe umuntu engicabuzayo like amathanga amswayeza so ngiyabheka mangiphakamisa amehlo ami ngithi wenzani akagcoka ngisho akagcoka ngithi wenzani athi kanti awulala ngithi angilalanga wenzani.
She says she managed to fight him off, grabbed the knife from the kitchen and warned him not to approach her.
The time ngiphuma ngibaleka bekusebusuku I think bekusekuseni yabo ngiphuma ngibaleka futhi ngithatha itaxi ngicela idelivery akunamali masifika ngiyehle this time ngiyehla ngakuphi ngakubaba omkhulu ngiyehla ngakubaba omkhulu cela 10 rand ngibhadale lo muntu lo ngiyehla ngakubaba omkhulu mangiyehla ngakubaba omkhulu baba omkhulu apparently bese ngisebenzini ngithola umfazi wakhe ngitshela uMatha ngithi Matha kwenzakala sona so lapha kubongani Matha athi angafonela abazali bakho kuqala ithi ngisimela ubaba kuqala okay fine abazali bami bayafona manje nogogo Lesedi nawe uyafona ngithi bongana maybe akabatshela ngestory ukuthi kwenzakala ba worried until ubaba eze elunch ngelunch azodla story sami ukuthi kwenzakala kulapho baba ngitshela ukuthi ngiyacela ngiyanzile ngicela lena ungayitshela abazali bakho le.
Mbali says she tried to stay with the elder to complete her training but left because she wasn't learning anything. She alleges he would come home drunk in the early hours of the morning and go straight to bed.
Izitshela ukuthi yazini angeke ngithwase mina ngifuna ukuhamba because kuzomosheka nje imali yabazali bami la. Ngithi ngicela ukuhamba ngamtshela ngathi baba omkhulu ngicela ukuhamba mina. Ngicela ungeze ikhanda ngihamba ngekhaya. Gogo usuzothwasa uyaqeda mosimaye why you give up manje ngithi baba omkhulu ngicela ukuhamba. Ngithi it's either angisanandaba ne permission yakho mina ngifuna ukuhamba la. Until I okay, hayi ufuna ukuhamba ke hamba.
Mbali says the shame and humiliation of the whole experience was too much to bear and no one would listen to her.
Bengizobhlungu kakhulu. But I was so embarrassed nokuthi ngikhulume. Nokuthi ngiye emaphoyiseni ngiye because sengizwe ukuthi yazi I've had enough. Because bengisaba ukuthi ngizovula icase and then bathini emaphoyiseni. I lo Rachel lesbian uzosiphaphela like uyatefa. Nama bengifike emaphoyiseni. Ukubona labantu ngathi lento engikhulumayo nje abayithathele ekhanda. Until ngahlala lapho bengithi ngiyahamba ngekhaya ngathi ngizohlala la nizoyizwa lento engikhulumayo.
We went to Mbali's alleged rapist Gogo Nomandla to hear her side of the story. She wasn't there, so we called her.
Azinkinga kaMbalini sisi uMbali ungophisile ezwa mama.
Yeah.
Ngivela emapholiseni ungophisile ngahlala ejele. The next thing yena ungizela ngama journalist manje.
We asked her other trainer whether she knew that Mbali alleged her son tried to rape her.
Silinde ikhotho sifuna yena uMbali siyothatha naye ekhotho simcelele salaya andifuna ukuthini mina ndizelindi lawyer yami ndizawuthetha na lawyer yami leyo yokuthi umntana ngumrepile or befuna ukumrape uza kuyithetha ekhotho. Mina konke ngayithatha nabantu be-TV.
Mbali's mother says she's heartbroken about her daughter's pain.
Enye nenye into ezenzakala justice mayikhona mayibe khona working. Ngixole nami. Maybe kunabanye ekudala bayenza njalo abafihlileyo. Maybe nabo bazophuma babone ukuthi le mpanda i-wrong.
Being a young woman in South Africa today means that I'm privileged enough to know my rights and accompany those rights with responsibilities. It is an opportunity to be bold, to be free, to be daring, to be unique and take your place in the world. We are a fearless generation of women who are fearless and bold.
SABC News celebrates Women's Month.
My passion, my niche is human interest stories. I am here for women who have rainbow babies. I am here for women who live with anxiety and depression. I am here for women with special needs children. I am here to tell you that you are enough.
SABC News celebrates Women's Month.
This is where we take a look inside the world of media, analyzing the issues with media outlets and journalists getting donor funding from countries abroad. Clearly, the funding is essential.
There's always a narrative that needs to be driven by those people that are funding. As a result, we're not going to get the real organic news.
But how do we bring it into the system so that the integrity of journalism is kept up?
I think that those donors should rather just advertise if they want to put their names out there and if they want to support that publication.
Yolanda Tandala says while in high school, she started to experience rich, detailed visions in her dreams.
The last dream that I had that scared me the most was I was in KZN, in a very small town, and the town started tilting upside down, and every building would fall inside of a lake, this huge lake. So I fell inside there and I met mermaids. And these mermaids called me with a name that I did not know. And they were like, they had attitude like, yeah, sikujeli satuzofika la. Uzenza ngcono bucam tuzophelela phi, so nathi la. You know, in a sense that you've been running away from this and look where you are right now. It's time for you to begin your journey.
Her spiritual journey began after she completed her matric.
One evening at home, and I was listening to songs that a friend of mine sent to me. He told me about this beautiful, amazing experience he had in Mkidin and would want me to start going in Mkidin now. That's when these songs came alive. Yesabela koko, yesabela koko, uyabizwa, uyabizwa sabela koko, 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 koko. You know, it's like speaking to me. You need to respond to what I'm being called to what. That's when the energy started taking over. That's when I was jumping up and down. I couldn't breathe. You know, there's this thing that took over. It took me so high. It felt like a high, you know, a spiritual high.
She felt compelled to move and ran until she ended up at someone's house.
Then they had to call my mother. And then they had to explain to her the process. We can't let them leave because they came here under, you know, a certain spiritual influence. This guy took me to the East Rand, where I was supposed to be identified. Whether you know, satanic, demonic, or is it an ancestral inheritance? And then it was discovered that it was an ancestral inheritance, and that's when I started training. I've never seen so many traditional healers in one space. It was something extremely new, but I was always guided to relax. You know, if this is a journey that I need to embark in, then let it be.
She says that early on she was taught the rules and what was expected of initiates.
The ultimate, most specific rule was do not engage sexually. If you're married, you tell your husband it cannot happen. If you're here, you do not get attracted to another initiate or your trainer, and your trainer is not supposed to do the same.
She says when she arrived, a senior initiate had said one of her trainers tried to rape her.
When you're new, you don't know whose side is true, then the elders always have the louder voice, so they'll say she's disrespectful. She's lying. How can she say such a lie? For that, they would punish her. Through the train, they give her the hardest tasks. They'll make life so hard on her until she left home.
Yolanda described an incident where she was bathing and a male gobela or trainer apparently walked in.
The more he tries to come closer, the more I tilt. Kanti shiftela where there's a bed behind me. When he comes onto me, that's when I fell on top of the bed, and that's when he came on top. And that's when he started forcing himself on me, trying to kiss me. And no, I'm not gonna hurt you, I'm not gonna hurt you. At the same time he's doing that, he has his finger inside my vagina. He's trying to do something down there, and then his legs are trying to separate mine. At the same time, no, I'm not gonna hurt you, come down, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm in the next, come down, man. There's nothing I'm gonna do. No, I can things or and then he reaches out to his zip. I don't know how he managed to do that, but the next thing I knew, his penis was inside my vagina. So he shoved it in, I screamed, he jumped out, he pulled up his pants, and then he left me. He left the room he left me like that. This guy just went in and out and left. Why can't I feel my legs? So when I pushed myself down the bed, that's when I fell on the floor. I fell down on the floor, and then there was blood dripping from my vagina.
She described a second incident where she and other Amatwasa and the same Kobela were assisting in a ritual.
He gave us alcohol, and we asked him, when he said, no, I had too much during the ceremony. I left this for you guys. You can drink if you want.
Yolanda says she drank too much, but still vividly recalls him raping her.
Because the next day he had to check up on me and ask me, do you remember what happened last night? He had to, why are you sitting alone? You're making people suspicious. We didn't go back the next day. That's when he busted the bubble, you give a matwasa to rape them. You give a matwasa jala so that nzoba rape.
She believes there was some form of spiritual blackmail to keep her silent.
We are told that these rituals are very sacred. They're between life and death. They're life-threatening because it's an end of something in the beginning of something, and in between that splits, anything can happen. I handle that ritual, and I'll make it very hard for you. So you need to make sure that you behave. You shut your mouth.
My experience in the industry has been both a roller coaster and pure bliss, if I may put it that way. I started off as an intern. I was an all-rounder. I used to do everything. And I think that was the back-breaking phase of my life, but I'm grateful for it, and I think it prepared me for my current roles. And it was also by the help of the women who welcomed me into the industry, women who let me be innovative, who let me have a great degree of control and freedom within my job.
SABC News celebrates Women's Month. On Health Talk, we discuss everything from the common cold to illnesses you may not have heard of.
Fibroids are benign tumors. What that means is that they're not cancerous.
We're talking STIs, and clearly there's a lot of people out there who know, but I'm sure there's some who still don't.
We're talking about sexually transmitted infections. So these are infections transmitted between two partners engaging in sexual activity.
I developed the vitiligo at the ages of 5. As we went to dermatologists, they are the ones which told us that this condition is actually vitiligo.
After consuming a lot of mixtures, putting a lot of ointments, I just said it's enough.
When we deal with employee wellness, it's necessarily all of those things that, if are not attended to, will affect the company's bottom line in terms of productivity.
Watch Health Talk Saturday at 9 a.m.
The ANC-NEC revealed in a statement that they supported the user pay system.
So are you saying that motorists, Gauteng motorists, have to pay for e-tolls?
It is a principle that is raised. We are saying that we support the principle of user pay.
We imported a lot of technology as an example in order to invest here, and those people are not going to say, listen, you don't have to pay me back. They are demanding their money back.
SANRAL has another 19,000 kilometers of non-tolled roads which it finances the maintenance, the upgrading, the building of. Why they want to continuously force a square peg into a round hole on this issue just blows us away.
It makes no sense to pay a toll on a toll on a toll. The roads are still looking terrible. The whole thing is just ridiculous.
It needs to be scrapped.
We didn't ask for it. So why do we have to pay for it?
Welcome to Media Monitor. This is where we take a look inside the world of media, analysing the trends and the issues and the reporting of some of the week's top stories. A shocking report states that 51% of South Africans don't trust the news.
The trust levels in independent media have also come from media getting it wrong very often.
Does this mean that our journalists are not credible enough?
We got investigating journalists in South Africa, the best.
Yolanda's alleged experience of being raped by her Gobela when she was training to be a Sangoma prompted her to start a support group for Amatwasa with similar experiences. She says since she has been exposing this abuse, she has become a victim of derision.
Each and every victim that I helped or I help means I'm stepping into someone's cult's territory. So saving victims out there comes at a price. I get harassed, trust me. And I tell victims this, that it was not your fault. So don't you ever allow to be shamed and affected by being called loose just because you spoke out.
Yolanda has dreams for the future.
It's not easy, but progress and support from our government and from other public sectors. And more girls to be healed. There's so much I want to pursue within the organization, to have our own psychologists, to have our own resources and tools to work around our healing.
Dr. Zugiswa Mfogo is part of the African National Healers Association. She says this kind of abuse is widespread and victims are often silent about it.
At the same time, they don't know their rights as to what should they do if something like this happens. When you get to the initiation school, like any other training institution, you get to be told the rules. So if that is one of the rules that you're being told that this is what has to be done based on what your ancestors are telling you should do, so you will end up succumbing to or being obedient to that. We are creating and we have done workshops, which we call them awareness workshops, about traditional healing, what the things that as a traditional healer you should be doing after you have been initiated and while you're still in the initiation school.
She is very clear that sexual practices are barred from Amatwasa schools.
Understanding that spirituality is all about purity in terms of the ancestors' relationships. So anything that will impact your impurity has to be avoided during that phase. It starts with the food, it starts with your behavior, it starts with your actions. So relatively, sex is part of it. It's one of those things that you need to understand that during that phase you cannot It's not negotiable. You cannot engage.
When finalized, the Traditional Health Practitioners Act will help to better regulate and monitor the sector.
We've been trying and pushing and putting our house together as traditional healers so that we can be able to go to government and say, this is who we are. Can we have an access going forward based on specifically us giving medical aids, what we call medical certificates, and also us being able to claim to the medical aid.
Many of these cases happen in private spaces. Some of them happened a number of years ago. What are the chances of victims getting justice under such circumstances?
It doesn't matter how long ago a crime had happened, a sexual offense, you can go and report it. What you have is a case of what people often say is he said, she said. It's cases where you are weighing up the two testimonies or the two versions of events, and that is sufficient for a verdict. You don't have to have physical evidence, and a lot of these rape cases don't have physical evidence. It's about looking at the reliability of your witness, of your complainant, or of the accused.
In last week's episode, we featured Andiswa Khoza's story in which she alleged her Kobela raped her. His case is currently in court. His attorney responded on his behalf saying, "We categorically state that the woman was not raped at all, and full evidence in rebuttal and disputing the allegation shall be argued in court."